I'm Rahul. I've been with Safe in India for a few weeks now. Prior to that, over a 4-decade career after I finished from IIM Ahmedabad in 1983, I worked with Castrol, Ford Motor Company, Hewitt Associates, and then Aditya Birla Group for over 21 years. I've had the opportunity of working all over India, traveling all over the country, had the opportunity of working globally for many years also. Right into people and how different people, different cultures behave. After I retired from the Aditya Birla Group, I worked in Mr. Kumaramangalam Birla's office to set up BITS School of Management and the BITS Law School under the overall umbrella of BITS Pilani. My sister and I, we run a foundation for prevention of thalassemia in the memory of our two sisters who had thalassemia. I have known Sandeep since 1991 when he started his career in Hong Kong Bank in Chennai. And over the years, our families became very good friends. And we kept in touch even though we were working in different parts of the world. And when Sandeep started Safe in India, whenever we met or spoke, which was quite often and quite regularly, he would talk about the work that he's been doing, the sort of impact that Safe in India is making, and we would have long discussions on this area. To some extent, my familiarity with the automobile world has been there because my whole career has been either in the automobile industry or related to the automobile industry, whether it is engine oil or whether it is tires or whether it is actually working in Ford Motor Company. And I could get a good feeling of what Sandeep was doing with Safe in India. Lately, earlier this year actually, we had more intense discussions because I had more time and we met more frequently in India or in London. And one day when he said, Rahul, why don't you come and be a part of our organization? I very happily said yes, I am very happy to do that. I am based in Mumbai and but I travel to Delhi, I travel to Pune, so I will be very happy to engage with your team and see how I can contribute. And I'm very happy to say that in the last few weeks I have traveled, met with many workers in Gurgaon, Manesar, Faridabad, Pune, and learned so much about what Safe in India are doing and learned a lot about the whole ecosystem in which we operate. And I feel as I go forward that there will be areas where I can add value. I believe, and we heard it in our launch of our crushed report also from many people, that there is a level of short-termism that is there in the manufacturing industry where we are operating, normally in the tier 2 and tier 3, where safety is actually looked as a cost and therefore it does result in accidents when safety is neglected or safety is compromised. There are many in organizations where the management understands that safety is actually an investment which helps improve productivity and the quality of the final product. But I am sure with time and the work that organizations like ours are doing, we would see an increase in safety as evolution happens and organizations realize that if we want to compete in the global world and be recognized as a leader in manufacturing, safety will have to start occupying a much more important space. I think there has to be a mix of regulation and culture change. Some of the new technologies which are coming, which are making it easier for companies to leapfrog from what was being done earlier, and the recognition and understanding that worker safety is not a cost. Also, I think through our organization, we have been able to work with almost 10,000 workers. And I'm sure these 10,000 workers would have spoken to another 10 or 20,000 workers where they have understood, and we are now conducting a training program for 10,000 workers, to share with them the knowledge that safety is an investment and that there exists organizations like ESIC to provide social security and health care. I'm sure as this progresses, there will be more and more workers and therefore more and more companies who will understand that safety is paramount. Of course, there will be organizations who may still not fully understand the benefits of safety. And there the regulation will also have to come in, where the government, where the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and other organizations will have to step in to ensure that the guidelines are met and understood. I think first of all the understanding that the equipment has to have all the safety measures that are prescribed. In fact, they should be buying equipment for registered people because some of the safety measures are incorporated in the equipment and are expected to be incorporated. Second, an understanding that safety is an investment. Also, I think, and it will come, I'm sure of that, as we have seen from our report over the last few years, there has been an increase in the number of organizations who are putting their policies online, whether it is occupational safety health policy, human rights policy, are being put in the public domain. Therefore, people know that these organizations are implementing some of these. There will be a higher level of empathy for workers. And when workers start getting the understanding that this is not a favor that somebody is doing to them, it is their right, and the right is guaranteed by the constitution of the country, I am sure, yes, sometimes we may feel that it is taking longer than it should, but then all good things sometimes do take a little bit of time. The fact that migration for work is a given, even in our own understanding with the workers who come to us, we know that 50%, 60% in some cases, the workers are migrants. So this is not going to go away. I think it may reduce over time when some of the other states also develop their own manufacturing setup. But migration, productivity, Indian productivity, as we have seen, causes a significant dent in our GDP. As organizations also realize that this is not necessarily only a one-way street. Therefore, improving productivity through improving safety and therefore contributing to increasing GDP can happen. One of the very good examples given to us was we should look at organizations where they have actually been able to do this in India. And there are a few organizations who do it very effectively. So some success stories around this area that we can promote through Safe in India, I think will also help in changing the mindset of the whole ecosystem. I think one thing that, since I am not very old in Safe in India, one thing I really found very enlightening was to see how these workers share their thoughts. And they share it very confidently. They also think what their organizations should do. And we should also, I'm sure we do, but we can even do it better, is to learn more from the workers, because they have the hands-on experience of what happens in their companies. Many of the people who came for our launch also mentioned that they have learned from the workers about some of these aspects. I think there is opportunity to increase the sort of training that we have set upon for 10,000 workers. Yes, it will not be possible for Safe in India to do a large part of that, but we can get other like-minded organizations to understand that this is one route to ensure that there is an understanding of investment as safety and not a cost. To be a global leader and to have your organizations operate in a global scale, you have to ensure that you have control of your supply chain. Yes, there is control on the quality of the product. If you enhance that control and that understanding, to the whole ecosystem of the supply chain, you will find that not only will you be operating more productively on a global scale, but we will have people from outside our country come to us to learn how we have been able to merge an Indian ethos into manufacturing.